able to proceed to trial, which will definitely happen not here, but in the Senate.
Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable Chua.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, let me read what is provided under our rules, the rules of procedure in impeachment proceeding. Under Section 7, it provides that if the committee finds that there is sufficient ground for impeachment exists, the committee shall conduct a hearing, which we are now doing. The committee, through the chairperson, may limit the period of examination and cross-examination by members of the committee. Therefore, Madam Chair, it is very clear under our rules that it is only the members of the committee who can participate with respect to the examination and cross-examination of the members. Why? Because, like what you said a while ago, this is akin to the preliminary investigation wherein it is the investigating officer or the investigating city prosecutor who is asking clarificatory questions. We are not yet in the trial where the lawyers or counsel of the defendant can cross-examine the witnesses. Now, this can also be, we can also be guided by our rules of procedure governing inquiries in aid of legislation, which the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez mentioned a while ago, that under Section 13, appearance of counsel, here, the participation of counsel for witness during the hearing and while the witness is testifying shall be limited to advising on the legal rights of said witness. Why? Because this is committee function. So ganun din po dito. Ito pong ginagawa natin is also a committee function. The cross-examination, ang purpose po ng cross-examination dito is just to ask or just to clarify questions. Hindi pa po ito yung talagang trial proper wherein we can cross-examine thoroughly the witnesses. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. The Honorable De Lima.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I concur with the views expressed by the Honorable Joel Chua. As expressed very clearly by the Honorable Chair earlier, the proceedings today, the proceedings from now on, henceforth, would be the determination of probable cause. And therefore, this proceedings is indeed akin to a preliminary investigation. There are no formal direct examination or cross-examination in the proceedings before the prosecutor's office. Yes, we can recognize the respondents and the complainants' right to counsel, but their role ought to be limited because this is only preliminary investigation. Role like identifying affidavits can assist their clients, can assist the complainants, or can assist the respondent. But if they have questions, as expressed and as already laid down in the ground rules read by the Honorable Representative Zamora, they can course it through the chair. In that case, they are afforded the right to confront, the right to ask clarificatory questions. This is not a full-blown trial yet that happens in the Senate. Just to repeat, this is akin to preliminary investigation, determination of probable cause. The proceedings or the hearings before the prosecutor's office, and this is the prosecutors, the Committee on Justice, is actually also limited. And no full-blown examination, whether it's direct examination or cross-examination, being conducted or held at that point. So I think it's very clear as expressed by the Honorable Chair and also indicated in the ground rules. We are not denying the parties their right to counsel. They have the right to counsel. They can assist for purposes especially also of asking clarificatory questions, but we have our own rules here, coursed through the Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Ridon and then the Honorable Rodriguez.
Well, maganda po yung talakayan kanina patungkol doon sa konsepto ng karapatan sa pagkakaroon po ng abogado. But I think just for the record, meron pong sulat yung mga abogado ni Vice President Sara Duterte na wala naman po ata talaga din silang interest at this point na dumalo either ang pangalawang pangulo o yung mga abogado po mismo. And I will read it for the record.
Madam
This,
Chair, we are still on our ground rules discussion. So that can probably wait and we will be able to discuss that.
No, just
Because
to-
we are now on approving the ground rules. We are not yet determining what the council or the vice president is proposing or manifesting to us.
For
So
the
can-
guidance of the justice members, there is a pending motion for the approval of the ground rules read by the Honorable Zamora. Perhaps we will be proceeding to the letter sent by the lawyers of the respondent after we address the motion for the approval of the ground rules.
Yes, Madam Chair, but just to make the point that even if we talk about a conceptual matter relating to the right to counsel, if the counsels themselves are actually questioning these proceedings and the Vice President herself is questioning this proceeding, I think that needs to be placed on record, Madam Chair. So I will read it. Fortuna Narvasas and Salazar.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable
Committee.
Ridon
That will
is
be out of order.
requested to defer the discussion on the letter of Fortuna Narvasa until we address the pending motion before the committee. So if we can go back to the motion, the
Madam
same
Chair.
has been seconded already.
Other discussion because there were interjections.
That is with regards to
To
the ground rules.
Yes. Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable Rodriguez.
Madam Chair, there is here a statement that in our rules, only members can ask questions. And I would refer now to Section 7, committee finds, and then the committee shall conduct a hearing and examination and cross-examination by members of the committee. Very clear. However, Section 7 shall obey the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. The Bill of Rights, Madam Chair, Article 3, provides that the right to be heard by himself or herself or to counsel is inviolable. It is in paragraph, in section, in the rules, in the Bill of Rights, is in the section on Section 2, and then also on custodial Section 2 and Section 4. So, Mr. Chairman, I am saying that we just have to give the right, otherwise there will be no due process. If only the members can ask, we should allow, can I finish first,
They
Madam
have
Chair?
the right.
I have allowed my good chair to finish. So let me finish my manifestation. So therefore, Madam Chair, it is very clear that councils should be allowed to cross-examine. Now, the issue here is that the rules provide that they submit the questions to the chairman. Will the chairman have the discretion to read or not? Or everything that will be given to the chairman will be read?
To answer the question of the Honorable Rodriguez, so long as the question is germane to the discussion pending before the committee, the chair will read the questions which are being submitted or which will be submitted by the councils of the parties. That includes the council of the respondent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. But
Madam
just to
Chair.
be able to state that this representation believes to be able to afford really procedural due process as pronounced in the leading case of Angtibay versus CIR. The 7 cardinal rights of a person who is accused, in this case, akin. We are really, this is even more than a criminal case because we are trying to remove the official who had the highest votes in the history of this country as vice president. So what I'm saying, Madam Chair, we should allow the councils to appear if they so wish and be able to cross-examine the witnesses of the complainants. That is the way to be able to afford opportunity of procedural due process as is written in Article 1 of Article 3 of Section 1 of the Constitution.
Madam
Let
Chair.
us be guided by the fact that this is not yet the trial.
Madam Chair, may
So
I be
what
allowed?
will happen before the Justice Committee is indeed merely a clarificatory hearing. Trial is different because, as has been repeatedly stated, only the Senate can conduct the trial.
Madam
What
Chair.
will happen before us is merely clarificatory hearing, and those questions are to be raised by the justice members. Of course, the lawyers of the respondent are free to attend the hearings. But with respect to their participation, I think that has been addressed in the proposed ground rules, that their questions may be submitted to the justice chairperson, who will be reading those questions to be answered by the resource persons.
Madam
Let
Chair.
us draw the line between the clarificatory hearing, between the Justice Committee and the trial, which will happen in the event that there is probable cause in the Senate only.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Chua.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To answer the manifestation of my professor, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez, there is no violation of due process, Madam Chair. Why? Because the respondent was given the opportunity to answer. That was the time when she is allowed to give all her answer. Now, sinasabi po natin that this is akin to preliminary investigation. Sa preliminary investigation po ba, did we allow the complainant and the counsel to cross-examine? No. It was only the investigating prosecutor who is allowed to propound question to clarify. Hindi pa po ito yung full-blown trial. And us, as member of the Justice Committee, that is our job to ask clarificatory questions. Yun po yung intention nito. To do otherwise, kung iba po yung nasa isip nito, dapat clearly and expressly nilagay po dito sa ating rules na yung examination and cross-examination can be conducted by members of the committee and or counsel and the complainant. Kaso hindi naman po ganun eh. Sa buong Pilipinas, wala po kayo, never po nangyari sa preliminary investigation, nagkaroon ng cross-examination or nagkaroon ng opportunity na mag-cross-examine ang counsel at ang complainant. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Zamora and then the Honorable Vice Chair Dumogan.
Madam Chair, I reiterate my motion to approve, to adopt
In-
the ground rules as I earlier stated.
In the interest of due process, let's hear as the last manifestation on the issue of representation by counsel, the Honorable Zamora, the Honorable Dumogan, and then we rule on the motion to approve the ground rules. Honorable Dumogan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As I said, we fully, is in the motion that respondent is entitled to counsel. In her counsel are entitled to ask clarificatory question, but it must be coursed through the chair, who will read the questions. That is the same in a preliminary investigation in a criminal case. But on the other hand, after the complainants had presented their evidence, it will now be the turn of the respondent. When the turn of the respondent will come, counsel can possibly present also the evidence of the respondent. But, as I said, the respondent must be present because who will now answer clarificatory questions from the investigators? The members of the committee are considered as the fiscal conducting an investigation. So, who will now answer the clarificatory questions of this committee if the respondent will not be here? So, anyway, it will be her right if she does not appear. But to me, it will be a waiver of her right also to answer clarificatory questions of any members of this committee. Respectfully submit.
Thank you.